Remember when games didn't treat you like an idiot? They made you think about the problem and fed you enough info to solve it. But in this age of dumbed-down, hand-holding video games, we take the initiative to see how the games that go against the grain will do in the video game market. This is Divinity Original Sin by Larian Studios. A year ago, we looked at another one of their games, Divinity Dragon Commander. It's part of the same series, but Original Sin is a pure RPG. It serves as a prequel to all the Divinity games, so let's take a look. You start the game by customizing everything about the two main characters: skills, attributes, abilities, talents, hair, skin color, face, clothing, underwear. Yes, you can customize their underwear. Don't judge me. You also have the choice of playing it single player, or you can play co-op, either local or online. It's a very open RPG in that you can do anything you want, and then face the consequences of anything you did. But if you just want to go for the main storyline, you'll be doing lots of quests, and I mean lots of quests. Once you talk to a few people, you already have a full page of ongoing quests. Investigate the murder, investigate these statues, find this staff, look for this guy, do this guy a favor. I think modern games have damaged my appreciation for complexity in gaming because I was a little frustrated when I had no idea what I was supposed to do first. So I just did something and hoped for the best. I'm guessing this is how all these quests are set up. If you ever get stuck on one, you can do something else, and this may lead you to something that progresses it. Or maybe I need to play more RPGs because I'm not sure if this is the norm. While the game does tell you where you should go, as it should, the UI does not. This means there's no giant arrow or marker on the screen telling you where the objective is. This can frustrate people, especially those who are accustomed to modern gaming, but this is reminiscent of old-school RPGs. The characters will tell you where to go, and it's recorded in a journal, but you have to find that location yourself using various hints like signs, visual cues, or ask NPCs for directions. You can even make your own notes on the map, so the game does give you the tools to tell yourself where to go. The one thing I don't like about the UI is how easy it is to misclick. I accidentally stole something a few times when I wanted to move somewhere, and that decreased an NPC's attitude towards me, and in one instance, I went to jail. After that, I really had to pay attention to where I was clicking, more so than in other games I've played. The leveling system can be very unforgiving if you don't understand what you're doing. I believe the best approach to this is to ensure your characters have a unique role they fulfill and have unique traits. In my case, I have a ranger who does the damage, which I have a habit of calling the carry, and I have a guy with a shield who tanks the damage. The combat system is turn-based using an action point system. Do as much as you want in a turn as long as you have the action points to do it. I like it, and I also like the amount of tactical decision-making you can do here. Positioning, terrain, and line of sight are just as important as having good stats or having the best equipment. I think this would be a really good game for those who have the time to enjoy it. Unfortunately, I don't. So my experience with this game ends up being like that of a point-and-click adventure game. In the 15 hours I spent playing this, the amount of fights I was in was in the single digits. The rest of my time was spent investigating a murder and looking for evidence. There are still many mechanics in the game I haven't even touched yet. I haven't done any crafting for one, and I'm sure there's a few things I'm not even aware of yet. I know it's unfair of me to say this, but this is my first impression of the game, and I'm sure you'll have a similar experience as well, at least within the first few hours. So, with all of this in mind, how will this do in the video game market?
So that's what that did.
For the next few weeks, a lot of good things will be said about this game. The reviews so far have been extremely positive from the big names as well as the smaller ones, so it's very clear to me that I've barely scratched the surface of this game. I don't think there's much of a middle ground in how much people will enjoy it. They'll either get bored of this very quickly, or they'll enjoy it all the way to the end. A few months from now, there is only one word to describe it: mods. Expect a few smaller campaigns to be ready, and a few larger ones to be underway. The fact that it supports both single-player and co-op just increases the possibilities. I can see this continuing to be a lively game in a few months. Not with the community size or exposure of a new release or a AAA game, but certainly an active community of dedicated players. I don't think there will be an expansion pack or any DLC, and I'm basing this off of Divinity Dragon Commander, which had neither of these. I don't see any indication of future plans for the game by the developer, and they've been very adamant on promoting their toolset, so my guess would be pure user-generated content. Perhaps they'll promote the best content that the community provides, but these kinds of plans are usually hinted long after release. When I get a chance, I would love to sit down and play more of this game. I'll be traveling next month, and if my netbook can run it, I'll be enjoying this on the plane. Divinity Original Sin is a refreshing take on RPGs, not necessarily anything new, but it brings back the old style of gameplay where you have to figure stuff out on your own instead of relying on the UI to tell you where to go. Of course, the UI does make it easy to do things you want to do, and that's always good. You should never be struggling with an interface. It comes with a $40 price tag. I think it's a fair price for what you get, but you have to understand what you're getting into. It's not a game you can enjoy in small doses. It's hard to do anything meaningful in a 30-minute session. This is something you have to commit hours at a time, and if you can't do that, you might as well skip it entirely. As always, we'll follow up on the game in a few months. Thanks for watching!